Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Democratic View. I'm the hostess, and my name is Phyllis Italiano. Today I have a man who has an idea and a project that we are interested in seeing it come to fruition. His name is Michael DeSario, and he is from St. Michael's
Housing Associates.
Housing Associates. I knew I would forget it by the time it came on. It's the cold. It sort of freezes your brain.
It does.
So tell me something. Who are you and where do you come from? And give us a little thumbnail sketch of your background.
Sure. I've been out here only 27 years.
Oh, is that all?
That's all. So, it's beginning to learn my way around a little bit. I grew up in the city, lived a little here and there, came out here on vacation and fell in love with it and thought it was, what a wonderful place. At the time I had a couple of young children and figured this is, what better place could there be to raise some kids? So moved out here full time and realized very soon that I needed to find a job. Also found that there isn't a lot of industry out here.
Yeah.
So after looking around, I ended up getting into the real estate business in the mid-'80s. It was actually pretty good. It was 86 was a terrific year. And I thought, this is easy. My first month, I sold 3 houses. I thought it was great until we had Black Monday of October '87, when the whole world changed. And all of a sudden, I realized that, hey, this is actually rather hard work. And nobody wanted to buy anything for the next 2 or 3 years. And it kind of taught me how to work even harder. Then things got better, and really I was very fortunate in that it really is a wonderful career to be in, say for the last 25 years, and to be out here, I mean, with that. So that's what brought me out here is sort of the beauty of this. As a real estate broker, actually, back in 1998, I was one of the few real estate brokers that were in favor of the Open Space Preservation Fund. And all my fellow brokers were going, oh no, it's another tax, people aren't gonna buy, they're gonna hit you up for the money. And I said, no, we're out here because it's beautiful. We want it to stay beautiful.
Oh,
and this is
boy, are you smart.
Well, it worked out.
I mean, you can see around the corner?
Occasionally, except for the snow piles this time. Now they're a little high. But that worked out, actually. And then the brokerage community came around. They now think it's a terrific thing because they see it. And I tell people that might complain about it, although rarely does a buyer really, I mean, they're not happy about paying 2%, but I tell them it's a little bit like the price of admission. You're coming out here, you're coming to a beautiful place, other people have laid the groundwork. This is a little bit of your contribution to get in.
It's your entry fee.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kind of works out.
And where did you go to school? In Manhattan?
I went to school in Manhattan. Yeah, well, actually in City College. So I went over there. So,
City College when it was really a great college.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was terrific, and it was when it was also like $69 a semester.
I know.
So,
I know. I remember those days.
It was a good experience, and then I did have enough of the city. I moved upstate New York for a while. And then also came out here, and very glad that I did. It's a beautiful place. I really love it out here. I'm thankful every day to be out here.
I think you're alone in that, loving it.
That's right. Maybe right now, this time of year, I'd rather be somewhere else. But anyway, for the most part, it's
Not
great.
me. Even though it's a hardship, I still like it better out here. I love it out here.
Well.
I mean, I went to the North Fork in Jamesport as a mere slip of a girl, and spent some time there in summers, and Long Island was it for me. And then 35 years in Fire Island. I just love Long Island.
Wow.
So it's really, well, also because I'm a swimmer, that's why. So
that's good.
Really,
that's good, sure.
I have a big pool. It's called Gardeners Bay.
That's great. That's great.
So tell us a little bit about this project.
Sure. What we're looking at, actually, probably a little over a year ago, St. Michael's, along with Windmill Village, has developed several projects out here. For the most part, they're senior projects for senior housing. One's 55 and older, and the other is 62 and older. We have 3 complexes, and we have about 127 people all told. And they're all they're always filled from the moment that they're finished, and almost no vacancies whatsoever. We have federal...
And waiting lists, am I correct?
Oh, enormous waiting lists.
Yes.
And we have subsidies, federal subsidies, that will limit a person's rent to 30% of their income. So no matter what their income is, all they're going to do is pay 30% for a clean, safe place to live and the utilities. So that's really it. Many of the people...
Put my name on that list.
Many of the people have incomes in the $10,000 to $12,000 range, just Social Security. So it really is. It is something to see. I've been involved in with Windmill and St. Michael's, we've been involved in building it and seeing it. And it's one process, kind of going through all of the rigmarole and the federal forms and filling it out and appealing for money and getting grant money. And then it's another stage is actually building it. And then you have the stage of seeing the people come in. And it's really wonderful to see people form a community, a new little community over here. And they're looking out after each other, they're socializing. With each complex, we do have a community room, so that way there's a place that people could go in the morning, read the paper, gather, watch TV in the evening, so they're not necessarily alone. And it's interesting, what I found is that...
That is nice.
Yeah, no, it is. And they know that as long as they can function independently, they're going to be there. Unless they get a windfall inheritance, then they make too much money. But other than that, they will be there for as long as they can function independently.
I have a friend who lives at St. Michael's.
Oh, okay.
And was homeless before.
Yeah.
So it really did.
People don't realize that in the Hamptons here, in the glorious Hamptons, there are homeless. We have a very high poverty rate. I think second only to Riverhead in Suffolk County. I mean, it's astounding. And yet, it's not, you don't think of that, you don't see it, it's kind of behind the walls, more or less. But that's sort of part of what prompted me to be involved in this. And what we're trying to do is actually, the town sort of approached us because we had experience in doing this, successfully doing it. And they said, look and see if you could find, we'd like to do more. They want to do more affordable housing. The town seems very committed to that.
Yes.
And so we reviewed with their planning department a list of a whole lot of places. We looked, and there are a few requirements that are a little hard. To get funding, you can't do 3 units here and 4 units there. You have to do a project that has probably 40 or more units altogether, because otherwise the economy, the economics of it won't support itself. They're not going to give you, you're not going to get funding for it. So after a lot of looking, we found an ideal site, which is off of Stephen Hand's path. It's behind where the charter school is. The town has a couple of ball fields over there. And then behind that, the town probably owns about 300 acres of land. And we're looking to work with the town to see if we could get about 30 acres of land, which we need 30 acres. The project itself will probably only take about 5 acres, but to have enough clearing and to meet all the sanitary flow and all that, we need probably about 30 acres of land. So what we hope to do is to build 48 units of affordable housing. We build 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, and to have to be able to build it completely with state funds, county funds, and also what's called tax credit money, which is essentially, a bank or a big institution will be able to give us a significant amount of money, and in return they get tax benefits over the following 15 years. So with that, we hope to be able to build it, and we hope to run it and hope to service and house, somewhere in the vicinity of, maybe 80 to 100 people, something like that, depending on how the bedroom count breaks out and who actually applies and gets in.
And one of the questions that has come up as it has been bandied about in a couple of the meetings I have been to is will any of these people who are going to live in here, in these units, really be people who already live here, or residents, who are maybe struggling, or workers who are here, like for instance, teachers, and, policemen and firemen and stuff like that. So, what do you have to say about that question?
A few things. It's interesting. When we started it out, we really thought that this would be a project for very low income, and by very low, a single person would be, I think under. I forget, maybe 21,000 or something like that, and then we realized that because of the nature of the project, and the project will have to sustain itself. We're not going to be receiving any federal funds to subsidize the rents. So the rents will have to be enough to support the running of the project. So we realized that...
And that means all things like heat and plowing and stuff like that.
And plowing and management.
Landscaping.
And super, and actually it comes out to probably in the vicinity of $500,000 a year to run a large complex. And you want to clean it, you want to do everything you need to do. Because of that, the rents, what we hope, and there's a lot to be done. This project is still really early on. A project like this probably will take 4 to 6 years to really complete. We hope to have rents in the vicinity of $850 for a 1-bedroom, maybe $1,100 for a 2-bedroom, and about $1,300 for a 3-bedroom. And those numbers would include utilities. So when you look at what the going rents are and what people are currently paying, they're double that or more. I mean, it is. So for somebody now to really afford an $850 a month apartment, according to the federal government, you're not supposed to pay more than 30% of your income for your living expenses. You kind of translate a lot of things, and I'm going through a lot of issues trying to make them simplified. But somebody is going to have to make somewhere between $30,000 and $35,000, and somewhere actually between about $30,000 and maybe $45,000 to be able to afford. If this is one person or a couple, to be able to afford that. So what we find is these apartments are really going to be, I think, fill the need for almost middle to lower middle income people that I feel a lot of times get the short end of the stick on this.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's funny. I'll go to the bank and I'll talk to a teller, and the teller will know I'm in real estate, and I'll go, well, do you have a place that I could live? And the teller, and I start saying, well, do you have $2,000, $2,500 a month to afford for rent? And they don't, not close. I talk to, medical technicians. I talk to people that work in an architect's office. I mean, there are a lot of people that have decent paying jobs that really can't afford to live out here. So we are hoping that this will be a large population, a large segment of our population. It is, you're probably aware when you look at it, the East End is getting older, and our average age is...
Are you kidding?
It's not just me.
No, it's not just you, and it's not just me. But I was outside Guildhall when they were playing one of the operas, and I happened to be in the library and looked at all the people coming out. There wasn't anybody that wasn't a gray hair. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I said, holy mackerel, this is really an old community.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is that's one thing. But if you look at, we need all the other services, and we're not just talking about landscapers and
no. We need the people in the offices and stuff like that.
Right.
I know a medical technician, a friend of mine, who has to live way up island, has this enormous commute because she can't find a place around here.
That's right. And then what a lot of people will move out of the area and stay out of the area, and so it's not. I don't think it's a healthy way to grow for our community to continue to grow.
Well, it isn't even growing; it's sustaining it as well.
Right.
I mean, that's equally as important.
Yeah. So we hope that this will give, among other groups, this will give young people a chance to get their, feet on the ground here, and we're doing that. We're also, we're toying with a lot of issues and a lot of different compositions. We are considering trying to designate a certain number of these units for seniors, a certain number for the disabled, possibly a certain number for veterans. so that we
Oh,
could
that would be
really,
wonderful.
put a mix and have, first, there's something that a lot of people, myself personally, like, a mixed community has a lot of vibrancy to it. And I think that would be, it would be, very nice to be able to have that and to see that in effect. I think it would be, from the other projects, the senior projects is great, and I see them turning into a community, and I look and hope that I could turn this into a community of all different ages, which is really terrific. So.
Now, you're not alone in this, working on this project?
No, not I'm alone. I'm not alone. First, their Windmill Village board is very involved in it. There are 4 people that are a part of it. Myself, we also have a couple of other consultants and individuals that have worked on our projects previously. That we're all, kind of join forces to try to make this happen. Neil Hausig is also very active with this, and Jerry Mooney, Kathy Burns, Pat Bistrian. There are quite a few people that put in a lot of time and effort to make this happen. And having done it previously, we know a lot of the pitfalls, and we know a lot of what we have to cut through and kind of to accomplish this. Mm-hmm.
Now, I am going to bring up something that came up at one of the meetings I attended, mm-hmm. where, and I know because I do my show mm-hmm. every Friday afternoon, mm-hmm. and Stephen Hand's path on Friday afternoon mm-hmm. is, well, it's an experience, mm-hmm. I would say that. And there was a suggestion that could you not have 2 entrances, one on Daniel's mm-hmm. Hole as well as Stephen Hand's? Is that ever been contemplated as a possibility?
Yes, actually, what I found when we did St. Michael's, it's located right on Montauk Highway,
right.
across from the IGA.
Right.
Very busy area. Right. We were all very concerned about that.
Yes,
we thought,
I know.
Well, do we put a stoplight? What should we do over there? And the Department of State and their road division said, you don't do anything. We tell you what you're going to do, and that's just what you're going to do. We are in charge of making sure the roads are safe. We are going to design what it is that is needed to make this road safe, and that's what you're going to do. And the town follows the DOS's lead, the Department of Transportation's lead, and then that's what it is. So we will have to do a traffic study. So we're going to have to show exactly how much use there is, and then they're going to look at the parcel. Right now, the way the parcel is tentatively proposed, we would front on another road, on Daniel's Hole Road. So I would anticipate, this is not my area of expertise, I've heard it as a concern, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to deliver it to the powers that be in the state, and I'm going to say, here's our situation, what should we do?
So it's the state who makes the decision?
The state, yeah. It's Montauk Highway is a state road. I think Stephen Hand's Path is also a state road. So I think they will make the decision on how to deal with it.
So what part does the town exactly play in all of this?
Oh, the town plays a very big part.
I know it's their land.
Control every...
Well, their land.
They control everything but the road.
Everything but the road.
Pretty much. Well, and the financing. I think those 2 things are different. But, the town is going to be very involved in the laying out the site plan, approving our site plan. There's going to be a lot of back and forth about that. They're going to make sure that
well, that will be with the planning department.
With the planning department. Environmentally, this is okay.
Yes.
And health department wise, that everything is okay. So the town will shepherd all of that. I think it's one of the few areas is really the road, and the road. The Department of Transportation says, hey, this is our bailiwick.
Aha. Mm-hmm. Well, I will pass that on to a few of the people.
Yeah, and I mean, it's early on. It is something I know, I've heard that concern, and sure, I'm concerned about it too.
Now, one of the things that also we really have to discuss, because you can't talk about this without thinking about the impact this will have on Wainscott with its, I think it's 19 students mm-hmm. in their little one-room schoolhouse. Mm-hmm. Which is actually 2 buildings. I have been there. I know it's 2 buildings. I pass it every day practically mm-hmm. if I go below 27.
Sure.
And And they are extremely concerned and very much, oh, not they, now I won't say the town of Wainscott.
Right.
It is not, because we've even seen letters in the Star from people who live in Wainscott. And the truth of the matter is, it's really just the board, and maybe just the head of the board, who seems to be quite strongly opposed to this, in that there will be school children eventually who would be going to his little private school, which only goes, by the way, to, I think it's pre-K to 3.
Right.
And so what can be done to smooth that over? First of all, no matter what they say, I think that their estimate of how many kids are really going to be living in that area is much more than it really will be in actuality. Because I think a lot of this is going to go to people who, might even be single people, So
well, yeah, that is, we've heard a lot of that. And I'm glad that you say, I think that there are a few people that are very vocal in their opposition to it, and we're trying to understand, their concern, and we're trying to see what we could do to address that. And some of the things is really changing the makeup of the 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments, the numbers, designating some for seniors, which I don't think too many of us seniors will be having school-age kids, although it's possible.
Blow my brains out. I have 4. 4's enough.
So those are two of the things. We're also, we're trying to, and what I asked actually the people that are involved or the people that are in Wainscott, is to just wait until the facts come out, because the facts are not here yet. There have been some very high numbers that have been thrown out, and they're not realistic.
I know.
What we've done actually is we've looked at, the town has 4 family housing affordable units projects currently up: Whalebone Village, Acabonic Apartments, Avalon Apartments, and Springs Fireplace Apartments. So we analyzed the makeup of those, and we found that really there's only, for every 3 bedrooms in those complexes, there's only 1 child for every 3 bedrooms, because there's some 1, 2, and 3. So when we apply that, the numbers become much more manageable in terms of the number of children. Now, we're still compiling this information because we wanted to try to be as realistic and accurate as possible. There are a lot of things that you could do with statistics, as everybody knows. You could take statistics from Suffolk County and say, oh, this is it. That's not really, Suffolk County is not as rural. Suffolk County is much more urban than we are out here. It's a different demographic. We're going to be using some of the demographics that the town compiled in their comprehensive studies. And we hope to be able to get the number of kids down where it's a manageable number. And then also, yes, there will be more kids in the school district in general. There will be some more kids that will be in K through 3. But I think that we can get the number down to what I hope will be a workable number, where maybe there might be a total of 25 children added throughout all the grades. And out of that, maybe there could be as few as, 7 to 9 children that come in. So yes, it'll be more. And
all of those kids are not going to be in pre-K to 3. Some of those kids that might move in might be already in junior high school or the upper elementary grades, or even in high school.
And then also what we think, although we don't know for sure, but we think that there will be a lot of people that will be moving from, let's say, a very dense area in Springs and maybe unsafe, overcrowded housing, and they may be coming here. Now, their kids might already be going.
You want to say that again? You want to say that again, because
unsafe and uncrowded?
That needs to be emphasized, is that this housing project could in many ways siphon off some of the tremendous amounts that we in Springs have to support in our school district, as well as the fact that some of them do not live in safe situations. So it really is something that we in Springs should be very much in favor of.
I think it is, it definitely would be, it works in a number of different areas, like you said.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
And now, there is a chance, and let's say if somebody is going to either the Spring School or the East Hampton School, and they're in this project, they may request to be able to continue there. Wainscott would be responsible for them financially,
Right.
but they don't necessarily have to bring everyone into the K through 3 to be housed right and schooled right in
Oh,
there.
yes,
Not
that's a
necessarily.
consideration.
So they have options, the Wainscott School District. You know, it's a very, unique school, and I think that, with proper planning, because we're also talking 4 or 5 years down the road, it could
It
stay
also
that way.
has millions of dollars left in its bank, which I'd like to know how come they get away with that, I mean, I know the district I come from, Yonkers, could use those millions of dollars.
That's right. Well,
The
the district Springs could use those millions of dollars.
As
That's
well
right.
as Springs, yes, indeed. Well, so the stage you're at now is really just the planning.
We're the planning. It's an important stage, and I think it's important we're trying to present this. This is for the town of East Hampton. This is not, for one area versus another in one hamlet.
Of course.
This is for the town. The people that will be housing here will be supporting the town. They will be part of the fabric of the town. And so with that, we're trying to, look at it in that picture, not just one area or another area, but this is something the town needs.
Well, that's something that people tend to forget. They tend to think of this as each hamlet is sort of got one against the other, and it's not.
Right.
It's the whole town of East Hampton that we have to consider.
And
Well, Michael, I wish you
could I do one more plug?
Well, you got only 30 seconds.
Very quickly, we need everybody's support so that they know, that the rest of the town knows that the town and that people are in favor of this. So
Okay.
very good.
Thank
Phyllis,
you so
thank
much.
you for having me here.
Very
I
good.
appreciate it.
I love guests like you.